Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray, hoping for the light.
So, you want to buy ITP Cryptids? I might change your mind after you watch this video. So, as you can see, if you're not a follower of the channel, I've had these cryptids on my machine for, well, since the beginning of this season. So I think it was February or March when I put them on, and I've been riding with them until now. And I got them because I was sick of getting stuck in the simplest mud hole. So I went with a 30 by 10 on a 14-inch MSA wheel, because I thought, yeah, that'll chew better than a Maxxis Bighorn for sure. Well, what I'm gonna say is, I think on an ATV, these tires will chew a little bit better. Mainly because they have a problem, and I've really noticed this, and I'm not the only one to notice this. When you get into any kind of thicker stuff or any kind of deeper stuff, the second your vehicle loses momentum, the tires, instead of propelling you forward like you would want, or trying to propel you forward, what they do instead is they just dig you straight freaking down. You do not get any more forward propulsion out of them, which is really kind of baffling. But I think it's a combination of lug design, lug depth, and weight of this vehicle, which is why I said if you have an ATV, they'd probably be a little bit better suited for an ATV as opposed to a side-by-side. Now, that being said, do they handle thicker, or do they handle mud better than my stock Bighorns did? Yes, absolutely they did. But they just don't chew enough for my liking. And I'm still on factory clutching, but it should still make a bigger difference. Like, there was, again, if you're not a follower of the channel, go back in my video log to, I think it was the first ride of this season. I think I called it season opener, what could go wrong. And there's a mud hole that I got stuck in. Almost everyone else made it through, and I could not believe that I actually got stuck in this hole, because it was the first ride after a 2.5-inch lift and bumping from a 30 or a 27-inch tire to a 30-inch tire. And this is a true 30-inch cryptid. Some cryptids from the factory measure out at 28.5 or 29. These ones actually do measure out at 30 inches or 30 1/4. It's just, every time I go into a mud hole now, I'm just thinking, okay, are these actually going to chew? Are they actually going to do anything? So for mud, that's my statement on them. They're good for an ATV, but for a side-by-side, and you ask anyone who has them on a side-by-side, they just aren't the best. Now, how do they do on rock? Well, wet rocks, they suck. They're brutal. Dry rocks, obviously, I mean, they're a freaking mud tire. They aren't going to be the best. But for dry rocks, surprisingly, for a mud tire, they aren't too bad, which is actually really surprising. Are there many tires better than them on rock? Yes, absolutely. I would say almost all trail tires are better than them on rock. Again, that's just common sense. On hard pack is where these, for being a mud-specific tire, they actually aren't that bad. You do break loose on corners easier because your contact patches, well, I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but your contact patch is quite minimal, and so that does make it easier to break loose on corners. They handle pretty good. You don't find yourself wandering all over the trail when you're on hard pack. They're decent. I mean, again, on hard pack, they're a mud tire. I can't stress that enough. They are a mud tire. So if you don't predominantly ride on mud, on wet conditions, in muddy trails, then really don't go with these tires. And I'm actually looking at selling this set right now, because I want to go back to trail more general purpose tires, just because they just don't work well for me. So they may work well for you. I know there are tons of guys who swear by them, but for me, with my personal experience and the type of riding that I do, they just don't frickin' bite. Now, in terms of weight, I think these are 44 pounds each. So they're going to be a little heavier than a stock tire. Now, I was running them, like I said earlier, with stock clutching. And I did see some top-end power loss, but low-end torque and everything like that was fine from the factory, like from stock clutching. So I wouldn't... You can do it without doing a clutch kit, but if you want that top-end power, I would recommend doing a clutch kit. Other than that, I haven't had any issues with punctures. They've all held up fine. No punctures, no tears, no leaks or anything like that. And I actually had to air them down quite a bit because when they mount them on the rim, they charged it right up. So these were at 18 psi, and I actually aired them down. I think I'm running 10 in the front and maybe 12 in the back, and it just to help out with the ride quality, because I'm running the lift. And the lift on the Commanders, it does make the ride worse. So I was trying to do everything to make the ride quality a little bit better. So I guess that's the long and the short of it. If you ride specifically mud, wet, muddy conditions on an ATV, definitely get this tire. But if you do anything besides mud, I would say kind of steer clear from them. While I have you, Loud and Dirty, they keep sending me hats, and I freaking love all of them. So if you guys like a good Canadian business and you want to support a good Canadian business, make sure you check out Loud and Dirty. Discount code Commander 20%. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it kind of informative. I'm not paid or anything by ITP, so I'm being brutally honest with you. And they are even for a mud tire, I'd say they're subpar. So it's with these, I'd say it's the definition of all bark and not a lot of bike to back it up. Hey, comment down below. Tell me if you've had better experiences with cryptids than me. I know, like I said, I think Don from Adventures This Way, he swears by them, but it might be him, it might be someone else, I'm not sure. I think someone around here swears by them, and I'm just not seeing it. So, yeah, comment why I'm wrong. Tell me how bad of a person I am because I'm wrong about this. Smash the like button. Stay subscribed. Rock hard, ride free. And I'll see you on the next one.